especially, over the years, I've been talking about this on an international level. You represent Jamaica in so many different places. I've been to places in the Caribbean, and we tell people about your community, and they don't even know where's Hermitage. This little community is like a dot in Jamaica.
Yes.
uh, I was talking to one of my member from Hermitage today, and he's telling me that, you remember Ika Mouse?
Yes, of course.
Ika Mouse was, they lived in that vicinity, not between Hermitage and Augustown, and
Wasn't he a teacher? I remember seeing him live in London about 1982,
yeah, man,
something like that, a long time
yeah,
ago.
man. I saw Ika Mouse. You go to party, you see Ika Mouse, and you see, be the man was somebody walking in my community bare feet, walking through Hermitage. You see all Tiger
Yeah.
was a guy, he lived just across, and you see all these people, and you grew up with all these people within your community. And as an ambassador for scouting, when you sell tourism, people looked at the river, the beach, and think that is all Jamaica has to offer.
Mm.
Always said community tourism is what people want to see, the natural thing that where these people comes from, as a child, where they came from. And I
Oh,
think it's one of the greatest event that I've ever seen. When you talk about reggae, there's always a root for everything. And I think what we did last weekend was to go and to highlight the root of where reggae came from.
yes,
That these
the home of
that
reggae. And I
home of
think that's
reggae.
really, it's been really important because to get really into the neighborhoods, the actual streets. So
Yeah.
it's not just, the state machinery, it's right down in the neighborhoods where people belong, that sense of
Yes.
belonging, the community, the nurturing. And not only
Yes.
that, I thought what was great with many of your interviews as well, Dean, there's a lot of them, is that we also saw and heard from the unsung heroes, the people who nurtured that
Yeah.
generation who achieved global, recognition, but to actually speak and hear, and especially for our communities, and when I say communities, I mean us as the Caribbean communities, it's very rare that you get to meet and understand who the mentors were or are,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
those who have nurtured the people who you'll see winning the Grammys, winning,
Yes.
global global recognition for the talent. And so it's very heartening because it, as I say, it's very rarely seen in Caribbean culture, those who nurture really pass on the baton,
Yeah.
So that
And I
that's
think,
something that what Hermitage has done that and
mm,
that hasn't really been done before when we think of the English speaking Caribbean communities, whether we're here in the UK, USA or Canada, you very rarely, and even within the Caribbean itself, do you actually hear from the mentors, the nurturers, which this is significant.
yeah, well, we have done it, but I want to thank you for taking it internationally, because
That's
I
important.
always do that with just within the community, but we have not taken it, because I believe, you know, this is a way of giving back to your community.
Yeah,
Because once you recognize the people who are, where they're coming from, it's like a lot of people, they might go to England and they got deported, and people just forget them. We see even our deportee as
yeah,
people who have tried and they are returning resident. And you see what, they have paid their dues. Some of these people, they leave when they were a child, baby, and they go away and they come back. Some go in different avenue and different entity. And, sometimes we have to look and see. Some of them, they might only take music to sort of soothe their mind, and that can also prevent them from being involved in any negative, because music have an energy
yeah,
that can really, really rebuild back and give them
yeah,
a rehabilitation chance,
yeah,
and in all the different areas. So reggae is not just reggae, you have the religious part of it, the gospel part of it. So they're all different.
yeah.
Reggae is like a religion.
Yeah, we're having, in fact, what we're having, we will be having 316. So there will be a gospel concert uh, coming up in the next few days. I think the weekend of the 27th, so the last weekend in February, we will have 316 reggae gospel concert. So we're looking forward to that. That's led by Beresford Dawkins. And as I say that, actually, Beresford Dawkins, he also by professional background, so not only being a guitarist and loving reggae and gospel music, but he's also works in the in mental health. So he will actually be giving a talk on Friday, the 26th of February, 5 till 6 p.m. UK time, and that's 12 till 1 p.m. Jamaica time. And the theme of that is reggae impact on mental health and spiritual well-being. So it's exactly what you're talking about. And hopefully you'll be on there to give that spiritual aspects, because one of the things that we're really clear of on our forum is that this is about positive. It's about transformation and focusing on what can be done to improve, because what's good about our community can always put right what's not so good. So I want us to stay on talking positive about the community.
Yeah, and just for the record, Hermitage, when it comes to cultural, Hermitage was the community that started the first cultural day, and this was in the 70s by Professor Barry Shevens.
Okay.
Also, that's where I saw Miss. Can you imagine Miss Lou and Ronnie Williams perform in Hermitage?
Yes.
You know, people might think it's just a community that started something today, and Miss Lou have passed a long time.
No, but it's remember, it's the 70th. They can't think that it's the 70th anniversary of Hermitage community.
Not talk about the reggae. We don't just start doing this reggae perform. We've been doing it from over the years. So we would have an annual event every year, but it's called the Cultural Day. So we have reggae, we have sports. So it's one day where we have track and field. That's where Sinclair, Peter Cargill, our reggae boys. So I play soccer with these reggae boys. So so each corner, each community would have compete against each. So what we do, the different avenue, corner. It's like when you enter Hermitage, the first two avenue, it's called Style Corner.
Okay.
The corner that's a place where all the style once it come in Jamaica. That's where I saw the first Bellfoot pants. That's where we saw the first big heel boot.
Yeah.
So it's Style Corner. Then there's another corner that's called Lazy Corner. These guys just cook the ackee and they just chill. It's just a relaxing corner. Then my corner, it's called Standing Ovation. And that's where Jimmy Sinclair comes from, because we always standing. So we would compete both in music. So we have like a sports day from in the 70s. So that's where I want to tell, that's where one of the first Connolly started in the urban before major league. It started in the 70s. So Hermitage started most of these things. So you have sports, you have music. So that's all we have, like Nicole Grant. So everyone.
Yes, and Nicole was very clear with the link between music and sports and all of that.
Simone Edwards. She's not. She used to play for the New York Knicks. She's a coach for the Jamaica basketball. And they, so.
Okay, and what's going to be great, I think, with our Jamaica's 60th anniversary next year, 2022, and the Diamond Jubilee, and of course, we're looking forward to the Reggae Hermitage Trail, the Reggae Trail, the Reggae Heritage Trail across Hermitage, and of course, Augustown in its widest sense as well. And that inclusion of the 5 communities that make up Augustown, I think again that's a great initiative by you. We look forward to that level of integration between us in the diaspora, UK, US, and the Canada clusters, as we call them.
Yeah, because right now we have started something similar with the whole issue of bedward, you know, the healing stream, and there are natural thing there at Hermitage. There's like an hiking trail that we can look forward
Yes, up
to.
the blue, in the
Um,
Blue Mountains.
in the Blue Mount, you know, some we
Remember,
can
not
go to the,
everybody around the world knows that area,
yeah,
you know. So
I tell you,
you're
I've been to
nestled
the
in
Blue,
between the
yeah,
Blue
I've been, so yeah,
Mountains.
so you have like a 1 day hike. We can do
Yeah.
different hike. I remember walking through the hill, and when I was on one side of the hill and I look on the opposite side, I literally see like building made out of brick. You know, I in behind my backyard several times I found horseshoe when my father planting because it was a plantation, the Mona
Of
plantation from
course.
slavery. So these things are all if people, and I think people who do history go back in slavery, if they should do research in those community,
Mm.
there's a lot of things that you see parts of those old train wagon that
Yeah.
those art.
But you could with some community spirit and innovation, you could make up a little museum of
That's what we
old artifacts from around. You'll be surprised how many people would be interested and to support that. I mean, see, one of the why that's important, which in a sense brings me to what this is about today. So today, for the next phase of the Reggae Global and Culture Online, supported by the Ministry of Culture, I must thank the minister and and her team, including Len Salmon, Jackie Knight, for their support for this as part of Reggae Month. Is that we're doing a number of forums which we call creative economy forums. And what the creative economy really means in terms of it's about all economic activity that depends on individual creativity for economic value. So it will have a cultural element or it may not. But the most important thing is to translate the individual creativity and create economic value.
yeah.
And on let me just
Yeah,
finish,
go ahead, go ahead. Yeah, man.
please, Dean.
Good.
So the importance of these forums is that what we say, our involvement and our support and working in partnership with Hermitage is to create a model of diaspora integration into the communities. So that's whether it's us in the UK, yourself in the US, our other colleagues in Canada, or wherever Jamaican diasporas are around the world. Because what's important for us and our integration is to, what we want to do is to create a 21st century lifelong learning and skills for inspiring, inclusive, peaceful, caring, and enterprising clusters within neighborhoods for youth development, community economic well-being, digital innovation, sustainable engineering, and civic participation. And youth development is so important to us. So we think in terms of succession planning and youth development, because young people, regardless of their background and status, need somewhere to go, they need something to do,
Yeah.
and someone to show them how. So that's the framework of
Yeah.
our involvement that underpins all of this activity that we're involved in at the moment. So sorry, you were going to say.
I mean, and I support you, but we started to prepare for that special heritage trail.
Yes.
The beauty about this, I was there when most of these things invented. So a lot of children would not know all music, from the sardine tin guitar, what it was like you know, when you started music, playing the sardine tin guitar, you know, the
Can you explain that? Sardine tin guitar. That
guitar.
sounds very interesting.
That's so Bob Marley. When I hear Bob, I met Bunny Wailer. I've had a picture with Bunny Wailer myself.
Yeah.
He talks about that's how Bob Marley started his playing the guitar. You get the wood and you get the fishing line and you have a the empty sardine can. That's how most Jamaicans start to play the guitar because we could not buy a guitar.
Yeah, cool.
So that's how Bob started. That's how you used to play your guitar. There's a piece of wood and you nail the sardine tin on it and you would play it. So all these things, I was there when I know I saw this, the skate, the two-wheel skate, you know, with the bearings and the three-wheel skate, you know, in those days, that was our entertainment.
Yes.
You
Yes.
know, so it's nice for our young people now to see what you can do to be creative, you know, and you know, be very
Yeah.
most of these people, that's what keep us. So we weren't bored. We have something to do. How do you make a kite out of the bamboo and your book leaf? You know, the breeze is blowing, you can just have your child rather than having him locked up in the house. Teach him
Yeah.
how to make a kite. He could just fly kite with a simple book
Yeah.
leaf and a thread, you know.
And I think what is great that there's still people around in the community, as you demonstrated, who are willing to keep the legacy alive and nurture young people. What I'd like to do now is just to take everybody through the forthcoming creative economy forums that we've got, which I know you'll be taking part in, and a number of the leadership team of the at the Hermitage Citizens Association have also indicated that they will be taking part. So our first forum, and all these forums begin next week, it is entitled, and this is on Tuesday, the 16th of February, 5 p.m. on this Zoom platform. And all details are actually on the Freshfm Radio London website. So that's www.freshfmradiolondon.com. We'll have all this information. So the first forum is, what is reggae? Who is Hugh Francis? That's going to be great because Hugh Francis he's one of the top people for the intellectual property side. He was in that band with Eddie Grant. He's been on Top of the Pops. He understands what he calls a 360-degree music business model. He's worked with all over the world. He's marketed over 30 albums. And these albums have generated millions in revenue from companies such as Virgin Records, EMI, Warner, Chappell, BMG, Jetstar. I mean, he was at Jetstar for 12 years. And he really has done a lot of work in nurturing young people and explaining to young people entering the music business. He teaches them about the business of music. So not just the playing. He's a great guitarist himself, and he's a singer. He's a singer-songwriter, guitarist in his own right. And he's been in, as I say, Top of the Pops, Eddie Grant, Tom Robinson, Kevin Godley, the 10cc, which years ago was a big group over in this country. He's done a lot of community development work as well. He was chair of Haringey Arts Council, chair of the African Caribbean Leadership Council, chairs a body called the Now Generation, which supports young artists. He's a member of the Brit Awards Voting Academy. He's a Bernie Grant Trust member. Bernie Grant was one of our great politicians here in the UK. He was from Guyana, but he did a lot of work around community economic development. In fact, myself and a colleague, Sonia Camara, we will actually be celebrating Bernie Grant Day on the 8th of April this year. In fact, we've got a global trade conference online, of course, and that's going to be really good. and that's to recognize the Global Trade Center. And then also the Hugh Francis then. So that will be on Tuesday, 5 till 6 p.m. UK time. That's 12 to 1 p.m. Jamaica time. So what is reggae? Hugh is going to define it from his perspective. And then who is Hugh Francis? He's going to tell us who that is. Then also on the same day, Tuesday 16th, we've got a forum led by Hermitage Citizens Association. So Reggae for Youth and Community Development. So we'll be having a dialogue on the role of reggae and some of the thoughts about that you've highlighted, and I know you'll actually be leading on that. And then what another great innovation for us, and this is on Thursday the 18th, we've got Women in Reggae. So we've got a dialogue, and again, a number of your Citizens Association members have put their names forward for that. So we've got an hour there. Hopefully Loxanne from Freshfm Radio London, who's actually on here as well. Hopefully Loxanne will be taking part in that. So Women in Reggae. So we're looking forward to that. And in fact, what we will be doing next weekend, which would be the 20th, Saturday the 20th, that weekend will be Women in Reggae weekend. So we're going to have a lot of music from Women in Reggae. So I know that we've got music from Sasha and a number of others who you put forward. So, you know, this is a time to lobby Loxanne. She's online here. So so that's Thursday the 18th at 5 p.m. through till 6 p.m. UK time. That's 12 till 1 p.m. in Jamaica. And then later on that evening, we've got another big business, the reggae business. So growth opportunities for reggae through digital innovation across the African continental free trade area. So again, it's how do we collaborate and do business around the globe with reggae, the publishing, the marketing. And so we're going to have some speakers there. In fact, we've got a colleague called Kunle Onimi from Nigeria. He set up the first licensed reggae station in Nigeria. So he'll be talking about that. So we've got Chidi from Nigeria as well. He's a director of Gregory Isaacs Foundation in Nigeria. So that's going to be interesting. We will also be having people talk about the use of technology, the technology and data and understanding your markets. That's Philip Bedwards, you know, our friend Philip Bedwards. Yes, so he'll be leading on that because, as you know, he's expert when it comes to research, data, evidence. So he will be leading. He will be leading the discussion around digital innovation. And one of the things that, in fact, that we've piloted on Freshfm Radio London with yourselves is the Kingston 7 Beats. And, you know, that's been a great, again, that's digital innovation. The music's produced there, Sean Grant, packaging. And in fact, the final work that's done on before the show's broadcast, and it will be broadcast in about an hour and a half's time, 10 o'clock our time this evening. All of that is actually put together by Loxanne, who's actually on here as well. So you're directly with the person who puts the final package together so we can broadcast it. So again, we've shown through collaboration, most importantly, what can be done there. And then just going on very quickly, we've then got Tuesday the 23rd now. We've got Reggae Global and Culture Durban 2021. So we've been working with Durban for the last few months, and last year they actually had their own reggae festival in Durban. So with one of our colleagues there, that we're looking to collaborate for them to have a long online version of their reggae, given what we've done here. and they're part of the community economic tourism team. You've met Stay before. You've met Diana McIntyre Pike as well, of course. So so that's at 1 o'clock, 1 to 2 o'clock on Tuesday the 23rd. And then in the evening, we've got community economic tourism for transforming local communities. So that's Diana McIntyre Pike from Country Style Villages as Businesses. And they'll be linking up with yourselves, because obviously they'll be supporting the Heritage Trail across Hermitage. So that's going to be interesting. And then on Thursday, the 25th of February, we've got Neil Fraser from Arawa Sounds. Now, in the UK, people will know Arawa record label for Lovers Rock. Great tunes in the 1980s. It's got great tunes out now, but you know, those of us of a certain age, we like to go back to when we were at our peak, you know, in the 1980s. So Neil will be giving us an insight into, you know, his music, the label, how he started, and you know what he's doing now. And then again, a bit later on that same day, Thursday, the 25th, we've got Momo Watts, who hails from BV Radio UK. So Michael, a great friend, I've known him years. He's a singer. He was in the Chosen Few, and he ran BVTV, and of course, and he's a great singer in his own right. We shall also have Sam Brown, who's our cultural ambassador. He'll be making an appearance as well. Sam is based in the north of England, in Manchester, so he covers all of the north of England as our cultural ambassador. Again, he's got many years track record, and so that's going to be very good. And then on Thursday, the 25th, we've got Jamaica and Ghana collaboration. Again, 5 till 6, and that's there's a visit planned between Jamaica and Ghana, direct flight in April. So the partners in that enterprise will be coming and explaining to us, you know, the heritage link, the cultural links, the business link, and the importance of reggae as part of that, and taking reggae around the world. And of course, you take it through people. And then, of course, the Ghanaians who will be coming to Kingston, of course, we're going to make sure they come to Hermitage as part of their visits, and that's been part of our reason for helping, that they need to come and spend some time at Hermitage. And then on the later on that day, we have global partnerships for Jamaica Diaspora 60th Diamond Jubilee Celebrations 2022. That's going to be led by, the theme is Homeward Bound. So from the diaspora, we're saying next year, Homeward Bound, that's the theme. That's being led by Beverly Lindsay, Dr. Beverly Lindsay. She is the CEO of Diamond Travel. It's one of the oldest established travel agents here in the UK. And so Beverly will be talking about how the travel agency will be supporting the events, because the aim is to have events every month next year. So every month next year. And we know it's going to be a blend of online and physical. So, but you know, we're planning for every month. And then I'd mentioned before, we've got Reggae Impact on Mental and Spiritual Wellbeing. That's going to be with Beresford Dawkins, 5 p.m. till 6 p.m. UK time, 12 till 1 Jamaica time. And then finally, the final event, and Friday the 26th is actually designated as Reggae Education Day by the Ministry of Culture. So we will be having a session conducted by Steve Higgins, very well known in terms of folk songs. So his theme is from mento to reggae, which is again a great way to let people understand the heritage and understand where all this is coming from. And in fact, next month we will actually be doing a two-part special with Steve called Before Reggae. So that's going to be interesting in terms of the heritage side. And Steve actually works, I think it's the Olive Lewin Institute as well, which of course is really important. So you can see, Dean, we've got a lot to come in this reggae month.
I wanna commend you for the hard work that you're doing. And people might think it's a simple thing, but as I said, and I constantly say that, I've started to represent Jamaica from '86. And I've been to camp where you have 30 different countries, and each country have to present something. And when they say Jamaica, it's always music. So you have to attach yourself. And if you take the dictionary or you Google reggae, it is from Jamaica, and it's good for you. And I commend you. I've never seen anyone that go deep to explain why reggae. There's so many things about reggae, and I think I've never really encountered anyone apart from what you've done, what you're doing to really highlight the world. What you're doing is not just me and you, it's telling the world the meaning of reggae, where it came from, and everything. Once you say reggae, people would just think it's just Bob Marley alone that
Yeah,
do
of
reggae.
course.
There were people before Bob Marley, and there are still people after Bob Marley that is taking reggae to a level. And the world need to understand that is our era. You have exposed reggae the widest part, but there were people before him,
Yeah.
and the flag of reggae was flying, and the world need to know all these things.
Yes, thanks for that. So we're just drawing to the end of the program. So what next for Hermitage before we
One of the thing
close?
that as I mentioned, Bedward, we have history of, I have actually touched the Bible that Bedward used to read. I
Really?
personally, yeah, man, I personally,
Okay.
I don't know where it is now.
Mhm.
I also, I repair the house that where the people, the last person, the last Bedward Heights, Miss Elsie. I have took picture with her, and when they were repairing the house, they gave me like the iron that they used to use, and several things. And
Okay.
what we plan to do, we would like to have label. So all these people who used to live in Hermitage, we want to label these houses. So when people,
Okay.
rather than Dean saying it, if Sange did not come and here and say Dean used to cook for Bob Marley, people
Yes.
think that I'm making up all these stories. So people are living in house that famous people. I can say I walk in Bob Marley and Skill Cole and Jimmy Cliff footprint, and one would laugh and said he must be joking. But when Sangi come and say that, so what you're thinking of doing? All these houses, there are so many houses that all these famous people used to live. If
Yeah.
we label all
Yeah.
these,
You know, you could have like a heritage plaque,
that's
even
what
if it was made locally, something that just
that's our next, But sometimes
symbolizes.
we don't want to have copyright because you have people where we have so many plans for the community, and
That's
you
right.
have people take it away
Yeah.
and they make bag and we, but so once there's so many famous people like in every other house in Hermitage, I will say
Yes.
if we can have that. So once you visit the community, you can say, wow, Bob used to come and have lunch. Minister of opposition used to live in this house, Sasha,
Yeah.
they tell me about the lady. She sang the song "The Mouse and a $1 Bread." This,
Okay.
and I know the guy. She said he was the guy she sing the song about. The guy was talking to me. He said, it was my uncle. This is, and I said, yeah. He said she used to live right next door to him, and I'm living there for years. So I said, I'm gonna ask you for all the names of all these singers, all these reggae singer, Alton Ellis.
Yes.
Those guys were living there, and you know,
And they're all names that we admire.
yeah.
We not,
And
you
sorry,
know,
it's not for us, Rudy. What you're doing, it's not for us. And that's what the diaspora mission is for, dude. For generation to come on. We're bridging the gap
yes,
between our, so if we passed off, people can say, yes, this is what Rudy was talking about. And that's what history is all about. And, if we didn't have somebody to prolong it,
yeah.
it should be forgotten.
Right. So finally, I'd just like to say that there's an event this evening put on by supported by the ministry called Reggae and Resistance, and in fact, it's a virtual panel discussion presented by Commissioner Alexandra P. Davis, and that's the city of Miramar in Florida. And that looks as though it's going to be really good. It's a live stream this evening, 6 to 8 p.m. Jamaica time. What's the time in Jamaica now? It must be about 4 p.m. I think, something like that. They're 5 hours behind.
Yeah,
So
4 o'clock.
yeah,
Yeah,
so there's a live stream. Just go to facebook.com, and if you search City of Miramar live, if you put that into Facebook, you'll be able to get that. Reggae and Resistance, hosted by Commissioner Alexandra P. Davis. So on that note, we look forward to seeing everyone again on Tuesday, the 16th of February at 5 p.m. as we go into, that would be week 3. Dean, can you believe it? 2 weeks, we would have done 2 weeks already. It feels like it though, doesn't it? Okay, great. So thank you very much, everybody. So this is Rudy Page, just giving you an update on Reggae Global and Culture Online 2021. Please tune in to Freshfm Radio London. Thanks to all the DJs. They've got some great, what we call the top 7 artists playing music across the week and the weekends. And just say thanks to the Freshfm owner, DJ Blacker, Owen Winter, to some of you that you all know him. He's worked very hard in keeping this station up and running and supporting this fully, this kind of initiative. And look forward to seeing you soon. Thank you very much, Dean. Thanks, Loxanne. Talk soon. And next on Freshfm, in the next few minutes, you'll hear the part of the Wayne Hall show, and also Kingston Beats. So in 1 hour's time, Kingston 7 Beats, produced by Sean Grant and Studio 99 and colleagues up there in Hermitage in Kingston 7. So that will be a great hour, special hour for Reggae Month. So thank you very much. Please go to freshfmradiolondon.com for all your information, and see you again soon. Good night all. Thank you.